Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Now, there's a little bit of an echo. Maybe you can hear it, but give me just a second to fix that. Uh, okay, I got it. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to bring the slides up and it just kind of froze on me. So give me just a second. Some of these little bugs should be worked out soon. They're going to have a iOS update tonight. So hopefully that will fix some of these bugs that we're having with the StreamYard. Okay, let me see if this works this time. Uh-huh. Yep, it's working now. Very good. But yeah, so tonight there's going to be an update for iOS. So if you are using Apple, remember the best way to keep your things up to date is to just do it as soon as possible. Um, yeah. All right. Good. There it is. Ha. Got it. Okay. Let me see who was here first. Kathy G. Thank you so much for being here first. Hello to Helen Marmon, Joyce Anderson, Mary H. Um. Oh my goodness. Did I get that one? Oh yes, 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 yes. I think I got it. Um. Oh gosh, I hope so. I hope so. So much happening today. Do I have it? No, I don't want that. Anyway, that's nope, that's not it. That's it. And I don't think I have it. But I tell you what, I will make sure that it is there at the right time. Or do I have it? No, I do not. All right, just a little incomplete, you guys. Let me grab one more thing here before I go too far. All right. Oh, actually, I should have used that one, shouldn't I? Nope, not that. Do that. Get rid of that. And bring this over here. And that works. Oh, that's perfect. I'm glad I remembered that at the last minute. There was a new pic that came out that our Duchess posted, and I didn't want you all to miss it. So give me just a second here, and I will share that with you. Okay, update that. I got to take this away, you guys. Sorry, but that's okay. I will fix it. Let me see who else is here. Peach Rose. I said Mary H. Sonia Johnson. Hello to what is that? WDJ? No, W. What is it? WD Junkie 2? Okay. Oh, there it is. There it is. All right. Lovely. Okay. Legs is here. Maggie. Okay. I'm just going to get started. All right. So there you go. Sentebale is over. I'll explain that. But first, we got to do the as ever new wine. Let me see some thumbs up if you ordered today. Put some thumbs up in the chat if you have ordered today. I'd be interested in knowing. Oh, by the way, I do believe that it is still available. If you have not ordered, they say there's more available today than last time. So if you have not ordered and you still want to, I do believe there is still vino available. So go ahead and make that purchase if you are interested, because it is still available. Let me take a double check though. Let me double check that. Is it still available? Oh. Hmm. As ever. Okay. Shop wine. Yes, it is still available. Um, you get a discount if you buy more than 6. If you buy the 9 or 12, you actually get a 17% and a 21% discount, respectfully. You get discounts if you buy more. No, I'm sorry, it's 12% and 17%. So if you get 6, you get a 12% discount. And if you get 12, you get a 17% discount. So, but it looks like it is still available. So if you have been interested in getting some of the As Ever Napa Valley Rosé, let me see, Stacy Crenshaw, you got some. Excellent. Girl in Pink. Let me see, Miss Caffey. All right. And is that Adri? Okay. Beverly McCaskill. All right. And you too? What is that? Net 7? Okay. Wow. All right. All right. Oh, Legs got in on the action today. New City Gardener. Okay. Michelle Breathwaite. Wow. A lot of you all. Okay. Joan Garcia. All right. Oh, my goodness. I'm okay. Okay. I'm not going to read all of them, but wow. Nice. Nice. Very nice. Okay. So we'll do Sentebale after we do the wine. Let's take a look here. This is what I just grabbed. Meghan just posted this like maybe 20 minutes ago. 20 minutes ago. Now I cannot make out who's in that photo, but about 20 minutes ago, our Duchess posted that. Blowing out the candle. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna guess that that is Heart Mom, also known as Kelly McGee Zafin. I think that's the person sitting to Megan's opposite side there. I'm guessing though. Don't know what kind of cake that is. Oh, you know what? I'm so silly. I didn't put the caption that goes with that. Let me find out what the caption says. Okay. The caption says, blowing out the candles on a beautiful 24 hours and thanking my husband, friends, and family for making it so special. To those of you I don't know, but who send love every day, thank you so much. Please know I feel it and appreciate it. And just to get a little foodie on you, this dinner last night at is at Funk LA with the culinary mastery of Evan Funk and his team is in the top 5 meals of my life. Extraordinary. Thank you for a standout dining experience. All right, for that. Okay, so that was the very last thing that our Duchess added to her. Oh, and she put that on the Meghan, on her Meghan account, not the As Ever account. Very cool. All right. All right. So again, that's on her Meghan account, not the As Ever account. That was I believe, the first time she's posted on her Meghan account in a while. Oh no, I'm sorry. She did post her wine earlier today, but yeah, she hasn't posted on it very much in the last maybe 10 days. So That is very cool to see that. All right. All right. So, anyway, happy birthday again to the Duchess of Sussex. And there it is. That is the 2024 rosé. Looks just like 2023. And I'm sure that the flavor is probably extremely close, if not exact. But it is a different year, and everything, every little subtlety affects the taste. But know this much: everything that has come from As Ever has been top quality, and all of them have won in blind taste tests, whether it was the raspberry spread or the wine. All of them have been very, very good. All right, and take a look there. This is another image from earlier. You can see it says Rosé Napa Valley 2024. And here's another image. I tell you, these images are beautifully photographed. These are beautifully photographed. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's almost as though you can just reach right in there and grab that bottle. Ah, lovely, lovely. And there you go. Is it? Oh, you know what? You know what I just noticed? They took the alcohol down. It was 14.5 before, right? Now it's 13.5. I think I'm right about that. I believe before it was 14.5. And now it is 13.5. So they did take it down just a little bit. See what I mean? Everything you do is going to have ever so subtle effect on the finished product. But 13.5 is still pretty good. That is still pretty good. Oh, thank you for verifying that for me. I really do appreciate that. Because I honestly I do doubt myself quite often. Okay. And there you go. See, the only difference besides that other thing we just talked about, you can see there it says 2023 on your left and 2024 on your right. But other than that, the difference I'm sure is quite subtle. I literally just noticed that 13.5 right now, though. And these are a couple of images that she posted earlier today, or should I say, the team posted this earlier today. You got a mountain of corks. And if I'm correct, they actually, I don't know what tree it is, but they actually used the bark of some tree that the corks are, still harvested the same way. But yeah, I believe it is a tree bark. And they have been using those for what, 1,000 years or longer. And then on the right there, you can see those bottles look like they're waiting for the labels. So as Meghan said, they made way more this time. Enjoy. Let's see. Come on, Slim says, I got 6 bottles and I hope Harry starts a new charity. We're going to get to that. Thank you so much. And thank you for the super chat. But yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Please start something new. Okay. Oh, yeah, it wasn't sold out. Yes, I was able to get some wine. Yes. And I just checked. I do believe it is still available. I just checked a minute ago. Let me do a refresh. Yep, still available. What's that? I should get 3 more bottles? Ah, well, I got some earlier, so I think I'm good. And I got some from the first go around, so I'm gonna have to do the taste test and see what that 1% less means. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do my own little taste test with like some brie and crackers and some olives and all that. But yes, thank you for that, Joan Garcia. You probably got notifications saying that it's already shipped. So this is going to come much sooner than last time. You see there, as we go along, everything is even more efficient than the last time. Okay. Let me see there. Okay, so there you go. That was what we got on. Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show you what we got earlier today. I almost forgot about it, you guys. I almost forgot about it. I don't know how that happened, but I nearly forgot about it. Okay, as ever. Okay, this is it right here. You know what? I don't know if that's copyright, so I'm going to just cut that off. But yeah, so that's what they had earlier today. And that, okay. Yeah, I don't know if that's copyright, so I'm not going to take my chances. And let me see what the other thing they had. Okay, let me find the as ever again. Okay, again, I may have to turn the sound down. Well, yeah, let me turn that down because I can hear dreams, 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 dream. When all I want to do is dream, dreams, dreams, dreams. Yeah, so that was it right there. Oh, I couldn't see that writing on the side. Could you? What did that say? It says bottle number one. That is bottle number one. Okay. Let's take a look at that again. What are we supposed to see here? Bottle number one. I'm trying to see the other bottle there, but I can't see it. Okay, so that must, it looks like we're celebrating with the first bottle that came off the line. Yes. Yes, Queen. Yes. Okay. All right, so let me get back over here. And well, those are the two that came out earlier today. And this again was from that taste test that I shared with you guys yesterday. That one just kind of popped up out of nowhere. And let me see here. Oh, yeah, it's over here. Yeah, so that was the taste test yesterday. Let's go over again what he said. He said, "What does Meghan Markle's wine taste like?" Here's the part where I reveal that I'm kind of a wine snob. I studied abroad in France and took a course all about wine. I really enjoy provincial style wines, and the Grenache and Syrah grapes are some of my favorites. So when I saw that Meghan's wine, although made in Napa Valley style, was inspired by wines of Provence, I was really excited and also slightly skeptical. A lot of popular rosés on the market today pull too sweet. Oh, and I worried it might be the same with Meghan's version. Lucky for me, I was absolutely blown away. This wine is incredibly light and crisp. It has a very pleasant mouthfeel with good depth of flavor that still allows the subtleties of its stone fruit notes to shine through. The finish is very smooth with no lingering bitterness. It's an exceptionally drinkable rosé. I was also surprised by the alcohol content of this rosé because it's 14.5%. The typical rosé the typical range for a rosé is usually a little less, between 11 to 13%. So this definitely had more of a kick than the other rosés I've had. When my mom tried a glass, she said that the tasting notes reminded her of an apricot brandy. So again, that was the 2023 bottle that he tried. The 2024, he or she, I don't know which, but so remember the new one is 13.5. Okay, okay. So yeah, that is that one. But yeah, cheers to our Duchess. Now, there we go with this one. The Duchess of Sussex wears the perfect summer outfit and new birthday portrait. You know, I saw this and I'm just like, that's from last year, right? In celebration of her 41st birthday, a new photograph of Meghan has been released. So, okay. People Magazine, that's where this comes from, People Magazine. They are getting to be a little bit frugal about buying photos, I think, because they put this one up, which of course they bought some time ago, right? Um, but instead, you had to go to a link in the article to see this. This is what they were talking about, this outfit, not the other one. Because I'm looking, I'm like, okay, where's the outfit? And then I kept scrolling down and I saw where you had to open up the Instagram to get it. So I don't know why they just didn't, print it regular in the article, but they did not. But yeah, that was like a little bait and switch to me because I'm thinking, well, I know I've seen that before. Anyway, but yeah, so I tell you, I don't want to make this about other members of that family, but whatever Meghan wears, whatever she wears, I'm just amazed that even the most simplest outfits, but I'm also delighted that the most simplest outfits, there's like a whole week of coverage about it in like Harper's Bazaar and all of the Tatler, everything. They all want to talk about our outfits. Yep. Um, just that other members of that family, their impression is very short lived, even if they make an impression. But there you go. That's what our Duchess does. It's called the Meghan effect. Let me see. Kavan Slim says, according to that Eden guy, it was horrible after he drank half the bottle. Yes, thank you again for the super chat. Yeah, that face that he made, and he's sitting there. I'm like, we can see that half of the bottle is gone, but yeah, he's sitting there with that something stink look on his face, and I mean, it was that guy. He is obsessed. He has hedged his bet on being a hater. He's hedged his bet on being a hater. But thank you again. Marjorie Austin, 24 months membership. Did not buy any wine this time. I still have 6 unopened, though I sent some to Canada. And did you see her new birthday pic tonight? I need spread and honey. Yes. In case you just joined us, I'll share that with you again. Okay. There you go. That is the one you're speaking about, right? Again, thank you for 24 months membership. Yeah, that is the one. Okay. All right, let me go back there again, and there we go. So yeah, they wanted to share this with us. Like anyway, you seen that one yesterday, and that is a beautiful picture. I love that. Love that picture. Let me see. Looks ageless because black don't crack, unlike Crack and Kate. Thank you for that. Okay, and Duchess Meghan is all grace in a never before seen portrait. The Duchess celebrates her 44th birthday. And oh, let me see. I did not put what magazine this was. I'm looking at the font. Oh, was it I think it's Hello, or was it anyway, I don't remember which one it is. Oh, Harper's Bazaar. Yeah, that one is Harper's Bazaar. Okay. So yeah, happy birthday, Duchess Meghan. The Duchess of Sussex is celebrating her 44th birthday. Okay. She pours her heart, vision, and magic touch into every detail. And today we raise a glass to her. Happy birthday to our founder. Oh yeah, that was from the team at As Ever. So yeah, Cartier tank. What else do I see there? Wide brim sun hat. Mm, and a big smile. There we go. Okay, and let me see. I think this was People again. Yeah, I think that one is People. Why did I put that one there? I don't remember. I guess I was just, was it a point to it? Nope, I don't think so. I guess I just put that there for no reason. Oh well. But there you have it. Or was there something to it? Let me see. Nope. Nope. I think that was it. That was it. Okay. I'll keep going. Oh, I don't know who did this, but that has been making the rounds. I think that is beautiful. It's like a watercolor, right? That is like a watercolor, if you ask me. And I can barely see what the bag says. Um, oh, you know what? You know what? That is there is a actual photograph. I think we saw the photograph for that last week, and someone did a like a watercolor out of it. But anyway, that's beautiful. I love that. That would make a nice postcard to send someone. As ever, forever. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Okay, okay. So anyway, let's get to the Sentebale trigger alert. You guys, this is eh, uh, Sophie, Sophie, Sophie. Whatever have you done, Sophie? Sophie could mess up a dream, if you've ever heard that phrase before. She could mess up a dream. I don't want to be vulgar, but she could mess up a dream. I mean, truly destroy someone's dream. Ah, Sophie, what have you done? What have you done? Well, today they you know, made their judgment about the whole matter. Let's see here. So Harry breaks Prince Harry, that is, breaks silence with emotional statement after Sentebale scandal finding goes public. Let me see here. The Charity Commission found no evidence of widespread systematic bullying or harassment, including misogyny or misogynoir, following an investigation. So essentially, there is no there as far as anything that someone has, or should I say, any type of I guess, abuse that Sophie claimed had been perpetrated against her. There has been none. There's no finding, nothing whatsoever. She pulled out the race card and a few other cards to try to make her case, and there was no case to be made. Plain and simple, there is no case to be made. What she did is going to hurt a lot of people. It is going to hurt so many people. She's already done a lot of damage. And if you ask me, I believe the whole point was to try and control Harry, to use Harry as a means to um, raise money for this charity that clearly has been hijacked. If you ask me, my opinion, I feel like this charity has been hijacked. So let me see. Leg says, so embezzle money, but the charity commission spent all the time talking about the way grievances were handled, nothing about the money. Stitch up. Exactly. Exactly. Of course, the embezzlement is alleged, but yes, it's a stitch up, a classic institutional stitch up. I mean, it really stinks. It really, really stinks. Let me see here. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I was trying to. It moved. She got what she deserved, Baron. But those poor kids. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I don't want to see her prosper or get away with anything. But those poor kids. Anyway, it says the Charity Commission of the UK has released the results of a probe into Sentebale, the charity founded by Prince Harry and Prince Eso of Lesotho. The Charity Commission found no evidence of widespread or systematic bullying or harassment, including misogyny or misogynoir at the charity or overreach by either the chair or the Duke of Sussex as patron. So essentially, they are putting them both on an even level when I I think we all know who has committed the overreach, and it was not the Duke of Sussex. However, a source tells People magazine that Prince Harry and Prince Eso see no way back to the charity while Sophie remains chair. I should think not. The corks are different this time. First batch, the cork said 2023. As ever, I hope the bottles are numbered. I got 3. I need. Thank you, TCC son. But no, I didn't notice. Thank you for the super chat. I didn't notice that there was any difference. So the first batch of cork said 2023, and this batch says as ever. I did not notice that, but as soon as I get done, I'm going to go take a look. Well, thank you for sharing that because I did not know that there was a difference, but I will take a look because I'm kind of nosy like that. But and also TCC son, thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Okay. So Harry is speaking out following the conclusion of an investigation into the nonprofit he co-founded nearly 2 decades ago alongside Prince Eso of Lesotho, and says that despite being cleared, the damage is already done. It sure is. And on the 5th of August, the Charity Commission for England and Wales announced it found no evidence of widespread systematic bullying, harassment, misogyny, or misogynoir at Sentebale following an investigation into claims made by the charity's current chair. I cannot call her a doctor. I'm just going to say Sophie for the purposes of this conversation. Sophie. The commission also found no overreach by either Sophie or His Royal Highness Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, who stepped down as Sentebale's patron in March following what he described as a breakdown in leadership. However, the commission criticized all sides. You know what? This really stinks. They criticized all sides for allowing the conflict to play out publicly and cited poor internal governance and a failure to resolve disputes internally severely impact the charity's reputation and risk undermining public trust in charities more general. The thing is, Harry resigned, saying nothing. Prince Aso resigned, saying nothing. It was Sophie. It was Sophie that decided to make this a public spectacle. And even worse, how come the commission didn't say anything about Sophie attempting to bring Meghan into something that had nothing to do with her? Not a thing. There was no reason for Sophie to be part of the conversation. I mean, for Meghan to be part of the conversation. All of that crap she was talking about. Oh, when she arrived with her celebrity friends, the choreography on the stage became confused. What choreography? We wasn't going to see Lord of the Dance. They weren't there to see what do you call it, 42nd Street. They weren't there to see the Radio City Hall Rockettes. It's a charity polo. It's a pose that has been done time and time again. And yet she makes it sound like they were supposed to be up there doing some big hit musical number from Broadway. The choreography somehow was thrown out of balance. And girl, I mean, fortunately, I have not had this in my mind for a while. And I hope that after today, that we won't have to hear or see from her ever again. Hopefully, they will found a new charity, and we just don't have to know about her anymore, because this is a game to some people, but this has been Harry's life's work since he was what, a teenager. This charity, which is supposed to celebrate the memory of both princes' mothers, and then all of a sudden, here comes Sophie, who obviously saw an opportunity, who I suppose thought Harry was going to be this massive fundraiser for her to help her, for lack of a better word, come up, to help her come up. I believe she had some plans for Prince Harry. I really do believe that she had some plans for him. And just like with the royal family, what they could not anticipate is that he would leave. I'm so tired of people trying to lock down Prince Harry for their diabolical plans, but she had plans, and I do mean plans for him. The commission also found no overreach. Okay, I did that already. However, the commission criticized all sides, the conflict. Okay, I did that already. Oh, let me go to the next part here. In a statement responding to the findings, a spokesperson for Prince Harry said, unsurprisingly, the commission makes no finding of wrongdoing in relations to Sentebale's co-founder and former patron, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. They also found no evidence of widespread bullying, harassment, or misogyny or misogynoir, at the charity and falsely claimed by current chair. That would mean Sophie. Despite all that, their report fails troubling short in many regards, primarily in the fact that the consequences of the current chair's actions will not be borne by her, but by children who rely on Sentebale's support. The spokesperson continued. A source tells people that Prince Harry and Princess see no way back to the charity, while Sophie is in place, but they are keeping their options open. You know what that means. If they get rid of her, then they will come back. But while she's there, I believe it was Arnold Schwarzenegger who once said, "Oh, not on your knife, not on your knife," or not on your life. They're not coming back. So both Prince Harry and Princess are devastated by what has effectively been a hostile takeover by Sophie. And the source close to the former trustees and patrons says this was Princess and Prince Harry's life work. See, I said that too. They established it 19 years ago, and in that time put in blood, sweat, and tears and their own money into building this charity up to what it was, a multi-million-pound charity that delivered nothing but good for the beneficiary community that it supported in Lesotho and Botswana. Let me see. Lex says she bankrupted one charity and used Sentebale to pay off his players. She owed Ian Rawlinson money. Interesting. He received a consultant's fee. And what consulting he did, I have no idea. And don't she still owe him money? Don't she still owe him money? He comes on as a consultant to consult about what? Oh, Lord. In a separate statement, Sentebale former trustees expressed disappointment in the commission's findings, saying key issues they raised about the charity's leadership has been overlooked. We are disheartened by the way in which the Charity Commission has chosen to ignore key concerns and irrefutable evidence raised with them regarding the leadership and oversight of Sentebale's chair. The statement reads, "We accept there is always room to strengthen governance of an organization, which is why we welcomed a governance review by the chair initiated in February of 2024. And that should have only taken a matter of months. We unfortunately never saw a report or any outcome enacted more than 2 years into her tenure." So let me do that again. We welcomed a governance review by the chair initiated in February 2024. So to me, it sounds like Sophie said, "Oh, we should do a review of the governance, right? We should do a review of how this charity is governed." We never saw a report or any outcome enacted more than 2 years into her tenure. So in the 2 years, this report that she said they needed never materialized. We remain gravely concerned for the future of the charity and the well-being of the communities we served for 19 years. Following the mission set out by Prince Harry and Princess in honor of their mothers, the statement concluded. Sentebale's current board said it accepted the Charity Commission's finding. Okay, so the current board, let me break that down for you. Oh, by the way, thank you, Legs, for the super chat. I'm just gonna put that there. Okay, so we have something a little pleasant to look at for now. Sentebale's current board said it accepted the charity's commission. So that means Sophie and her people accept the findings of the commission. I repeat, Sophie and her people, the ones that she handpicked, they accept the findings of the commission. That includes Ian. In a statement, the organization said it supported the commission's regulatory action plan issued to address their internal dispute policy, improve the charity's complaints and whistleblowing procedures, and establish clearer processes for delegating authority. The commission will monitor progress in the action plan, which includes timescales. Sophie, this is what Sophie said. I appreciate the Charity Commission for its conclusion, which confirms the governance concerns. Oh, God, if I hear that word again, governance concerns I raised privately in 2025, in February 2025. The experience was intense and it became a test of our strategic clarity and operational resilience. Word salad. Saying Sentebale has continued to support young people in Lesotho and Botswana, Sophie added, this is Sophie again, I thank every dedicated colleague, and the courageous new board members who have stayed focused on the mission in the face of unprecedented media glare. It wasn't unprecedented until you alerted the media. The unexpected adverse media campaign that was launched by those who resigned on 24 March 2025, meaning Harry and Princeso, has caused incalculable damage and offers a glimpse of the unacceptable behavior displayed in private. She's still striking out, y'all. We are emerging not just grateful to have survived, but stronger, more focused, better governed, boldly ambitious, and with our dignity intact. And with our dignity intact, this whole ordeal has exposed her as being a huge flimflammer, and she seems to think that her dignity is still intact. You know what? I'm searching for the words. I want to say something very dignified at this point, but I'll let someone else say it.
Hey, girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
So, despite the recent turbulence, we will always be inspired by the vision of our founders. This is still Sophie's words. Despite the recent turbulence, we will always be inspired by the visions of our founders, Prince Harry and Princeso, who established Sentebale in memory of their precious mothers, Princess Diana and Queen Mamahato, she said. She dares speak Diana's name and Princeso's mother's name in her statement. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, and then she continues, to all who believe in our mission, please walk with us as Sentebale recovers, renews, and rises to meet the hopes and expectations of the next generation. A source close to former trustees found it appalling that Sophie invoked the names of the founders and their late mothers in her statement for her own good. They found that appalling, as they should, because that is despicable. That is absolutely despicable. She actually used their mother's names in her statement. Now, that is what you call a provocateur. That was being very provocative right there, and deliberately so. That was deliberate. If only I had the words to describe how I feel right now. But sometimes you have to just give the you just have to give the look. Sometimes that's all you have is a look. A look that says it all. That's all I got. That's all I got right now is a look. Isn't that awful? Oh, that's tacky. That is absolutely tacky that she would dare use their mother's names. How dare she do that? She actually invokes the names of the two late princesses. I guess that's just like a little parting shot right there. That's what it is. That is a little parting shot. The Charity Commission announced on April 3rd that it was launching a regulatory compliance case to examine concerns raised about Sentebale after Prince Harry and Princess issued a shocking statement announcing that they were stepping down from their roles as Sentebale's patrons due to infighting within the organization. Now, that is not the words that Harry and Princess used. They did not say that they were stepping down because of infighting. The exit stemmed from a breakdown in relations between Sentebale's chair and the board of trustee members who also stepped down. So yeah, let us not forget that the board of trustees also stepped down. On March 27th, Prince Harry and Princess said in a joint statement, "With heavy hearts, we have resigned from our roles as patrons of the organization until further notice. In support of and solidarity with Board of Trustees who have had to do the same, it is devastating that the relationship between the charity trustees and the chair of the board broke down beyond repair, creating an untenable situation. The princes said that Sentebale's trustees asked Sophie to step down and she sued to remain chair. Now, the trustees asked Sophie to step down and she sued so that she could stay in her position. Now, this one here. Okay, let me see here. That is kind of small, but let me see what it says. Okay, I got it. What has transpired over the last week has been heartbreaking to witness, especially when such blatant lies hurt those who have invested decades in this shared goal. No one suffers more than the beneficiaries of Sentebale itself. On behalf of the former trustees and patrons, we share in the belief that the Charity Commission confirmed they will be conducting a robust inquiry. We fully expect it will unveil the truth about, that is, the truth that collectively forced us to resign. It remains hopeful this will allow for the charity to be put in the right hands immediately for the sake of the communities we serve. Now, that was, let me see, in the timetable, I believe that after Sophie did all of her stunts on television and everything, that was a statement that Harry made. It should have been enough when they resigned, But then she pulled this stunt where she goes on television trying to declare that the board of trustees, all of whom predate her arrival, actually wasn't she on the board of trustees? And then they made her the chair. Either way, either way, that was what Harry had shared when the commission said that they were going to investigate. And unfortunately, that so called robust inquiry didn't seem to yield anything but y'all was both wrong. I mean, that's pretty much all they said was y'all were both wrong. It should have been private. Y'all was both wrong. That's what the commission has to say. I mean, what kind of commission is that? The only thing you have is y'all was both wrong. Why even bother? If that's the best you can do, why even bother? The only thing that I'm glad for is that it completely exonerates any wrongdoing from anyone who stepped down or quit or whatever. That's the only good thing. But other than that, the best that the commission can come up with is y'all was both wrong. Get out of here. Oh my God. If I never have to see those weasel eyes again, if I never have to see that face again. Mm, mm, mm. Let me see here. Harry and Prince Seiso said they were truly heartbroken that the trustees felt forced to step down. What's transpired is unthinkable. We are in shock that we have to do this, but we have a continued responsibility to Sentebale's beneficiaries. So we will be sharing all of our concerns with the Charity Commission as to how this came about. Sophie spoke out in several interviews to share her side of the story, painting a different picture of the events that led to this point. In a March 29th interview with the Financial Times, the Zimbabwean born corporate um, finance lawyer um, said her relationship with Prince Harry took a turn after she refused his team's request. Now, y'all know this was a big lie. After she refused his team's request to defend his wife, Meghan, after an awkward photo moment between them at the Sentebale event in April of 2024 led to negative media coverage. I have no words. I have no words. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, I have no words. That's all I got for that one. Let me see. Willie Leaks is enjoying trying to dismantle Harry's charities and legacy in UK. I bet he wrote Sophie's statement. I bet she quietly leaves. Uh, and thank you so much. Was it Carolyn Baker or Carolyn Baker? That's Carolyn, right? Anyway, thank you so much for the super chat. According to Sophie, the Duke of Sussex urged her to publicly address the incident that unfolded during the trophy presentation ceremony. Anyway, we went through all of that at the time. We even found video that showed that it was something very different from what she described. Um, that was an act of desperation to insist that trophy presentation was the root of everything. Our relationship took a turn because of the trophy presentation. You must admit that was a very clever way to weasel out of everything that happened. I mean, very easy to do what so many people love to do on a daily basis. Make it about Meghan. Make it about Meghan, as though Meghan was not supposed to be there. Let's make it about Meghan. People will buy that, won't they? Okay. Let me see. A source close to Sentebale patrons and trustees told People that the dispute at the crux of the controversy is rooted in governance concerns, not personal grievances. Sophie was named Sentebale's chair in 2023 after serving on his board from 2009 to 2015. A Sentebale source familiar with the situation told People that at the time, the organization was in stable financial standing. Let me say that one more time. At the time, the organization was in stable financial standing when she became chair, but the situation changed under her leadership. Huh. Though the Charity Commission's findings bring some closure, they also underscore just how much damage has been done both to the charity's public image and its founding partnership. Regardless, the source tells People that Prince Harry remains absolutely dedicated to supporting the children of Lesotho and Botswana. How that happens, he will keep his options open, whether that means raising money for a pre-existing charities that are doing good work in those countries or establishing something independent and new. The source says it is very early days. The source added, I'm positive that Prince Harry will want to work with Prince Seso again and deliver for Lesotho. Again, I'm going to say this. Somebody was hoping to tether the Duke of Sussex in a way to have endless possibilities of fundraising. The most ridiculous thing in the world, no disrespect to Prince Seso, but Harry's ability to raise funding is unmatched by anyone associated with that organization. Not to mention the star power that Harry brought to Sentebale with Nacho Fagares. Okay? And now the people that need the help the most, and let me remind you all of something else that Sophie said, and that is, and I'm paraphrasing, that at one time, no, I think okay, let me just do this the best I can. She insinuated that Harry and Say So thought that they were best placed to establish a charity to address the urgent needs of the HIV/AIDS crisis in Botswana and Sentebale. I mean, Lesotho, right? That they felt it was very condescending the way she said that, as though they were in over their heads, as though they had good intentions, but they just weren't the right people to do it. That's what it insinuates. Also, she spoke about sustainable economy, global warming, and so on and so forth. Anyway, she felt as though Sentebale, she said that the AIDS is no, what did she say? AIDS is no longer a big deal in so many words, and that they need to focus on creating wealth for those communities, sustainable, something like that, she was saying. In other words, she totally dismissed the idea that AIDS was still a problem. But yet, it is a known fact that in those communities, the leading cause of death is still HIV/AIDS. That is still the leading cause of death. Not car accidents, not heart disease, not cancer, not gun violence. It is still HIV/AIDS. So who's uh, not suitable? Who's unsuitable for the purpose? Who's unfit for purpose? The two people who established the charity to address the leading cause of death, or the person who thinks that it's no longer a big deal? I'm going to go with the two princes. The mantra for the UK has to be suffer in silence. Thank you, Legs. Suffer in silence. And that's what they want people to do. The institutional people that likes to stitch things up, it's usually the people that are making the complaints that win the day. Like, for instance, the royal family, the Kensington Palace. They start this whole thing about bullying and all that kind of stuff. They were the ones that take that stuff public. And why did they do that? Because Harry was trying to discreetly deal with something internal, and they turned it into something else. And so if you say, well, what about the Oprah interview? That was after 12 months and a day of nothing but leaking and briefing and more abuse. Okay, what about the docuseries? That was another year's worth of leaking and briefing and abuse. The Sussexes have only responded to the attacks that they have received. Non-stop attacks. Even today, there's an article about the wedding. There's an article about bullying. There's this article. Even today, it is a daily occurrence that the Sussexes are under attack from the British tabloid media. A daily occurrence. They do not miss a day. They don't take a day off. And up until the day Princess Diana died, they were still trash talking her all over the British media. There was newspapers still, the ink was still wet. There was newspapers out there trashing her until they found out that she died. Then they took a break. And as soon as it was right, they went right back to it again. And even today, Diana was playing a dangerous game. Diana was mentally ill. Diana was depressed. Diana was bulimic. Even today, it never ends. And now there's a new weapon in their arsenal, Sophie, who has single-handedly dismantled Sentebale. She took something that was working just fine and broke it. She did that. And then, using her skills as a lawyer, she comes up with all these little clever arguments. And it's just the kind of stuff that the haters need to use against Harry. His life's work, Prince Cecil's life's work, and not to mention a resource that has proved very valuable to the communities they serve, has been completely destroyed. And I don't know who is going to donate money to them at this point. I don't know where they're going to get funding now. I really don't know. I don't know how that works. And even though all of this can be fixed if she just leaves, she's not going anywhere. She's going to stay in place to ensure that the families that they have been serving with that charity for almost 20 years, she's going to stay in place to make sure that they suffer even further. All she has to do is leave, and to take that man sitting there next to her, take him with her. That's all she has to do is leave, and they can go back to where they were. But she's not going anywhere because she really has no place else to go. She has dug a hole for herself this time because nobody else is going to hire her unless it's something to do with Kensington Palace. I can assure you of that. The only way she gets hired again, it has to be something to do with that institution. Someone who's on the inside of something that will take her probably to do exactly what she's done here again. Although I don't think anybody's going to ever trust her again. People are going to trust Harry, but they ain't going to trust her. She has burned several bridges this time, several bridges. It's so bad she even had to take that little wonky website she had. They had to take that down. And it's interesting how some of the key players in that website would, I couldn't even understand what that thing was. It was some kind of digital, futuristic. In other words, they were going to administer other people's money to help people. And anyway, it was like some kind of vast middleman game that they were supposed to try to play, which involved, I believe, her brother and some of those same people that got these consulting fees. Those consulting fees, what was it? £600,000, something like that. All of this trouble she's making, and she's not even on salary. She's not even getting a salary. The finances were fine until she showed up. And then once she showed up, everything went to hell in a handbasket. Thank you again, Lex. TCC Sun says Lesotho has the highest tariffs at 50%. They make jeans for Levi and Calvin Klein. Oh, I didn't know that. Orange Man may reduce to 15%, but the damage is done. Remember the meeting between Orange Man and Workshy. Oh, three devils. Thank you, TCC Sun. Isn't that just awful? Isn't that just awful? I don't know how somebody like that lives with themselves. I really don't know how. How do you hold your head up in the morning? I went through my little archive to do with all of this, and I just yanked some random stuff. Sentebale boss is accused of openly playing the race card in row with Prince Harry as royals' unpleasant messages are revealed. What unpleasant messages? That's the thing is, what unpleasant messages? Um, did the commission see any messages? I wonder. What unpleasant messages? Remember, she said that she had some messages that would substantiate her claims? The claims that this all happened because she wouldn't back up something to do with the choreography on the stage? Huh? We haven't seen him. Sentebale volunteer says Prince Harry lost interest in charity after marrying Meghan. Head of Prince Harry's charity accused him of harassment and bullying at scale. Remember, she said that at scale after calling the Sussex brand toxic. I just want to remind y'all, she said that Harry and Meghan's marriage and all the toxicity that surrounds it, you know, the toxicity that has sold out several products with As Ever, a toxicity that Netflix still supports, a toxicity that has sold I don't know how many pots and pans. Remember the Le Creuset? That toxicity, how many pots and pans were sold? How much of anything has been sold that has to do with them? Huh? How much? A lot. That's the answer, is a whole lot. But that brand of theirs is so toxic that it has properties in it that seems to just melt everything away. Oh, what has she done? What has she done? And she ain't going nowhere.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Why join an organization that Harry founded if he was toxic? Hello, thank you, Legs. If he was so toxic, why would you even join the organization? Why would you sit on that board all those years and then become the chair so that you could ask for a governance review that 2 years in running has not been seen yet? A charity that was financially stable until you showed up. The common denominator in all of this is Sophie. That's the common denominator. Everything began to wither away because of Sophie. Take something that isn't broke, take something that is functional and workable, and then, you know, she'll take care of it. Look at that. Harry left reeling, playing the race card. Harry's Netflix request. Oh, the Netflix request. Let me remind you of that one. Let's say you're the chair of a charity, right? And you're having a polo match that is only made possible because of Harry and Prince So, right? You have this celebrity charity match. Well, not celebrities, just a couple of famous people and the rest of the ones. But stay with me. Netflix wants to bring their cameras. The other polo club said, no, you know, we want a cut of it. And so what happens? It was either Harry or Nacho or both that found an alternative polo ground, right? And then Netflix can bring their cameras. And bringing their cameras does what? You would think that would help raise more money. But all Sophie could look at was the inconvenience of it all. Not at the time, but after the fact. While she was sitting there feverishly trying to figure out ways to justify Harry stepping down as founder, the board stepping down, Prince So stepping down, she had to try to think of anything and everything that could explain that away. She even went after Netflix. Harry charity race route, Meghan's secret guest, The secret guest. I think that was supposed to be Serena Williams, right? Serena, the secret guest. Serena Williams' presence that somehow caused a lot of problems. Is Harry's brand over? I saved all of these. Because I thought at some point I might have to look back at it. It's good. It helps me remember how things evolved. And this little spot of bother. Sentebale has spectacularly pushed Trump, Putin, and Spring's statement out of the headlines. Yeah, they got, well, you can see that it did go on and on. But essentially, Trevor was saying that he has been friends with Sophie in the past. What does it say? It takes some pretty spectacular it takes something pretty spectacular to knock Donald Trump. Oh, you know what? That cuts off, doesn't it? Oh no, I see it. And Vladimir Putin and Rachel Reeves out of the headlines. But this week, the goings on at the small Africa based charity did exactly that. Anyway, I don't like Trevor. Let me see. Where is it at? The organization chair. I'm trying to see where it says he acknowledges that they have been friends. Is that here or no? Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna just skip that. But like I said, she went to a safe place, and that was with Trevor, because both of them got those little honorary things from the royal family, and both of them they have been friends in the past. Why isn't Sophie releasing this smoking gun text from Prince Harry? Uh, Kaiser from Celebrity asked that question. How come she's not releasing the text? Now, that was April 3rd of this year when we were supposed to know that there was some kind of text message that would substantiate everything that Sophie had accused Harry and Meghan of, right? Um, we have not seen that text. We are not ever going to see that text. I don't even imagine that that text message exists at all. I don't even think it exists. Um, if there was a text message, it would have had to been turned over to the board of trustees. I'm sorry, to the what is the one that did the review? The charity review people. They would have had to have seen that, right? But according to them, there is no there there. There has not been any type of abuse whatsoever having to do with Harry or anybody else. The unpaid chairperson was asked to leave, and she sued so that she could stay. The unpaid chairperson that somehow gone through £600,000 was asked to leave her unpaid position. The unpaid chairperson who spent hundreds of thousands of pounds on consultant fees with people that she seemed to be very well acquainted with was asked to leave, but she sued so she could stay. And it has been alleged that she has used the race card to make sure that she didn't have to go anywhere. Boss of Prince Harry's Sentebale charity shut down social media as she's trolled by Sussex squad after accusing Duke of harassment and bullying. I have nothing to say about that. Zandy Sussex said back then, she said, The real issue is that nothing adds up. We know a hypocrite and a fraud when we see one. Fake doctor cries decolonization, yet happily accepted a member of the Order of the British Empire, has lived in Western countries longer than she's lived in African countries, yet claims a superior right to speak on behalf of African communities she knows nothing about, left a trail of debts from her own failed business attempts, but is now an expert, claims she's all about good governance, yet spent unauthorized £600,000. And there you have it. Thank you, Zandy. That pretty much puts everything in place right there. Although there is more, but I think we got the important parts out at this point. You guys, I'm sorry for this, but here we go. Valentine Lowe tries to reheat debunked bullying claims against Meghan Sussex. You can rest assured that every time the Sussexes are making a big move, there they go again. Every time. How long have they been away from Salt Island? How long have they been away? They have been away all this time, and yet, when it's convenient for them, meaning the houses of Windsor, the tabloid media, they just start it all up over again. The good thing is that fewer people give a damn. Truly, fewer people give a damn. On Meghan's birthday, the media returned to a familiar tactic, reheating a debunked bullying narrative. This time, however, the smear came wrapped in a self-promotion. Valentine Lowe, former royal correspondent and now author, appears on an anti-Sussex commentator, Kinsey Schofield, YouTube show to revive his 2021 claim against Meghan, conveniently timed to promote his book. And of course, when they knew there would be a lot of media coverage because of Meghan's birthday and the release of the wine. All of that goes together. A strategic hit job disguised as journalism. In Daily Mail article, Lowe claims staffers were frightened of Meghan and saw her capacity for revenge as infinite. He described aides as psychologically delicate, supposedly still haunted years after working for psychologically delicate, supposedly still haunted after working for her. Working for her, right. These claims, like those in his original 2021 article, remain unsupported by names or documented investigation. No official HR inquiry ever upheld wrongdoing. The Sussexes denied the allegations at the time and again later, framing them as a coordinated palace smear timed to sabotage their Oprah interview, which, of course, we all know they were panicked about the Oprah interview. Now, Valentine Lowe, who, of course, is a monarchist, a royalist, you will find no situation where he would ever say, gee, isn't that strange that the palace decided to bring this information to the surface just before the Oprah interview? They will never say that. But the timing speaks for itself. Lowe doubled down, saying Meghan and Harry tried to stop the story and later sent feisty legal letters. His real reason for rushing publication, though, was political. He admitted the story had to run before the Oprah interview to shape the public narrative. Oh, he did admit it, huh? Waiting, he said, would make Meghan look like a victim. He preferred to prime audience with suspicion. Oh yeah, he preferred to prime the audience with suspicion. Okay. Um, if the story had come out after, oh, this, I guess this is his words. If the story had come out after the Oprah interview, it would have just looked like sour grapes. He'd be lost in the noise. Meghan would come across as this heroine, this person who'd been victimized. The whole narrative would be about what she and Harry said about their experience with the royal family. It would just get lost. No one would really care. You look back at the Diana years, stories had come out that the marriage was in trouble. No one knew for certain until Andrew Morton's book came out. People then realized that it was the truth. That is what happened with my bullying story, Valentine Lowe. Uh-huh. Um, the thing is, there's no way it would have gotten lost because from that point until now, they have deferred to the bullying claims again and again and again. It only serves our side of pointing things out, like the timing. The timing of it is what makes it look bad. Had it come out after the fact, if they would have waited and put that story out after the Oprah interview, then people would have had a chance to say, well, um, Harry and Meghan only gave that interview because they knew what the palace was going to say. But instead, it's the palace released the bullying claims because of what they suspected Harry and Meghan would say. Either way, it does not matter. The damage has been done. They wanted to do their best to destroy Meghan's reputation. The only thing that's in Meghan's favor is the timing. Not only the timing of the bullying claims, but also in Meghan's whole professional career, they can find no area of her life where she has been painted as a bully until days before the Oprah interview. And days before the Oprah interview, that is when Meghan was on a rampage, running around, going up to two staff members and banging their heads together like coconuts. When she would run in and throw hot water in someone's face because they used the wrong tea bag. All of that stuff happened just days before the Oprah interview. So I'm just saying, if anybody was aware of the timing, they would all come to a reasonable conclusion, unless they're just biased and hateful, that the palace only said these things to try and take the wind out of their sails. That is the only reason. It didn't come up before that. It's never been a thing at any place Harry ever worked. I mean, Meghan ever worked. Harry has never been known as a hothead with anybody but the paparazzi. I don't know if Harry ever gone after anybody but the paparazzi. And even then, we know how they provoke people. Meghan was the victim. Kate made Meghan cry. William leaking, and of course, waving his finger around. Thank you very much, Legs. Valentine Lowe. That is a good name for him, isn't it? Um, Feminagra goes on to say that Valentine Lowe's record tells its own story. Lowe presents himself as a sober insider, but his past behavior raises questions, right? In 2019, days before Meghan gave birth, he joked on Twitter that Archie was frog spawn, an ugly reference while she lived at Frogmore. Oh, well, there's the tweet right there. It's that time of year, when beautiful girls kiss ugly frogs, and look what happens. Rumored sighting near Frogmore Cottage, Windsor. Ugh, that's gross. Let me see what else does it say here. He later claimed Meghan looked through him during an official engagement, describing her as cold, disengaged, and difficult to connect with. This anecdote became part of a larger narrative he and others used to paint her as aloof or hostile to the press. However, the video footage from the same event tells a different story. Meghan is seen engaging with reporters present, including Lowe, with visible warmth and professionalism. She maintains steady eye contact, smiles, and responds clearly and respectfully to the questions asked. The contrast between Lowe's retelling of the recorded reality casts doubt on his objectivity and suggests that his reporting may be shaped by personal bias than journalistic accuracy. And yes, there one of the squatties shared that interview, which anyway, I can't share it with you right now. But he tells on whatever that show the Sun has, he's sitting there saying all of this stuff about how Meghan responded to him, and yet if you look at the video from that event, it's completely different. She's smiling, engaging, and being extremely professional for someone who is being viciously abused by that institution. It did not distract from her professionalism. Not at all. Anyway, this pattern of contradictions has followed Lowe. He admitted he knew Meghan was in mental distress in 2019, referencing her conversation with with the head of HR. Still, he helped push the bullying story just days before the Oprah broadcast. Knowing the couple's emotional state, he confirmed what many speculated. Jason Knopf, Prince William's former aide, initiated the complaint, not Meghan's direct staff. And that is true. Jason Knopf was the one who expressed concerns. It was no member of the staff that came forward. And of course, when they kept pushing the thing, and they found out that that Meghan's lawyers wanted to interview people, then all of a sudden they just put the whole thing on the shelf, and nothing else was done about it. And I think at least one other time the palace officially said something about bullying claims, and then they said that they were going to just put it on the shelf and not even bother with it. The staff were very certain that they wanted their names left out of it. They were like, investigate whatever you want, but do not use my name. They did not want their names used. And I could not imagine that with the blanket of protection offered to them by that institution, with a opportunity to have even greater job security, I couldn't imagine that they would refuse to get involved with an investigation if there were any truth to it. But because there was no there, they didn't want to have anything to do with it. I mean, the sad part is that there were people on the staff they were quite fond of Meghan, that was very fond of Harry, that found themselves stuck in the middle of a lot of infighting. And that's the truth. They were in a tough position. Some of those staff people were in a very tough position. They did not take that job to be a part of William's vendetta against his brother. But that's what it turned into. Now, I'm sure some of them went along with it and was glad to do it. But I don't think that that speaks for everyone that was on staff. They could have done some amazing things, but for William and Kate. They could have done some amazing things. Just imagine with, and listen, you guys, don't even believe that that institution has not been touched by this. That institution, their popularity is at an all-time low. And these things like with Valentine Lowe, all of the negativity that is coming out of the House of Windsor, all of the negativity that is coming from the tabloid media, it is not helping that institution. And I promise you, in the future, the booing is going to get louder. And I'm not saying that the royal family is on the verge of collapse, but the only type of support that they can get en masse are busloads of school kids that they bring in to make a lot of noise. That's about it. There's no standing room only crowds for that institution. They have to let people out of work, let the kids out of school, and only then can they manage to get people to show up. So they're not getting away from this untouched. Trust and believe they have been very much affected by all of this. If they knew what was good for them, they would stop this. They would stop this. Even if Harry and Meghan never said another word about anything, the damage is done, not just to Harry and Meghan, but to that institution. The sword cuts both ways. The UK media uses books and push coordinated attacks. Lowe's new book, Power and the Palace, attempts to build on his book titled Courtiers. But his formula remains the same. Rely on unnamed sources, push anti-Meghan narratives, and time the marketing to coincide with media moment. Lowe isn't acting alone. The same week his claims resurfaced, the Daily Mail began to serialize Andrew Laney's new book entitled, which includes a fabricated story about Prince Harry allegedly getting into a physical fight with Prince Andrew in 2013, 3 years before Harry even met Meghan. Laney also claims that Andrew made disparaging remarks about Meghan, supposedly provoking Harry's defense of her. But how could Harry defend Meghan's honor to his uncle in 2013 when he hadn't even met her until 2016? The timeline collapses under basic scrutiny. Harry swiftly denied the claims, calling them false and defamatory. Lonnie, for his part, admitted he never contacted the Sussexes for comment before publishing. Damn. I mean, how do you what type of mental gymnastics will it take to make that make sense? By the way, those are the two things that I just mentioned. That's Valentine Lowe on that Sun show podcast. saying how Meghan looked right through him. And then if you look on the right side, what do you see? I'm going to say Valentine Lowe is at least a foot taller than Meghan. What is she doing? She's looking up and at him. She's not looking away. She's not looking down at the floor. She's got way too much self-respect for that. She is looking at him, answering, responding, engaging. This is the same Andrew Lonnie who in 2022 GB News interviewed declared that Harry and Meghan posed a greater threat to the monarchy than Prince Andrew. So these aren't accidental oversights or isolated incidents. They're a part of a coordinated strategy, a strategy to repeat sensational gossip until it sticks, using Harry and Meghan as targets for a smear campaign disguised as royal reporting. Like all effective propaganda, it thrives on reputation, repeat, reputation, let me try that again. Repetition, repetition, and more repetition, not reputation. Whew, okay. That both Lonnie and Lowe are pushing new releases through the mail within days of each other only illustrates how tightly choreographed these campaigns have become. Now, a final thought from Feminagra. Valentine Lowe's latest revival of his bullying claim is a promotion wrapped in contradiction. He offers no new evidence, no named sources, just recycled insinuations, timed to benefit his book sales as well as dampen Meghan's birthday. On Kinsey Schofield's podcast, he claimed former aides were still in a very fragile state. I don't know why that tickles me so bad, but he claimed. Oh, I don't know why I just picture some of those aides sitting around, chain smoking and nervous and jumping and afraid to leave the house. And anyway, where did I leave off? Um, oh yeah, still in a very fragile state. Then turned around and said they were happy leading new yeah, they are happy leading their new lives. They're in a very fragile state, but they're also very happy leading their new lives because Harry and Meghan have been gone for 5 or 6 years. UK employment law protects staff from workplace abuse through legal channels and HR procedures. Yet no grievance was ever upheld. No tribunal ever heard a case. This narrative wobble exposes the true aim to stoke public curiosity about Meghan Sussex under the guise of royal reporting. As in 2021, the smear campaign lands with perfect timing, coordinated not for truth, but for traction. Okay. Thank you again, Feminagra, for another well written piece. Oh, you guys, I don't know what to say. Pamela Anderson shuts down Meghan Sussex copycat rumors with one word. I have a new respect for her. You know, when she first went makeup free, I was just like, you know what? I like her. She's got moxie, right? The moment occurred during Cohen's uh, Plead the Fifth segment, which is known for digging into celebrity controversies. Instead of leaning into the drama, Pamela shook her head and reminded viewers, I didn't invent cooking shows. I didn't invent cooking shows. She's just doing her thing. Her tone stayed light, and she gave no indication that she felt threatened or copied. This brief exchange managed to cut through months of clickbait and online speculation. Anderson cleared the air with her answer and exposed how much of the buzz came from outside the shows themselves. Good for you, girl. Good for you. As a matter of fact, I can do better than that, right? I could do better than that. Yes, much better. And it's the same thing with Gwyneth Paltrow. They were trying to pull Gwyneth Paltrow into a bunch of nonsense. And for a minute, it looked like it was going to go south. But fortunately, they worked it out. Literally, Gwyneth Paltrow said, I don't know what they're talking about. Meghan is sitting right there in her kitchen as she says this. Meghan accused of copying Gwyneth Paltrow down to the lemons in new brand ad. Well, I guess I'm copying both of them because I keep lemons in my house all the time. I think anybody who cooks that likes the sweet and sour and savory flavors, I think a lot of people keep onions. I'm not onions, but lemons. Well, that too. But a lot of people keep lemons. I have lemons all the time. Let's see right here. Gwyneth Paltrow fans convinced she's throwing subtle shade at Meghan with new cooking video. Again, there's no there. Why Gwynny launched an all-out breakfast war on neighbor Meghan. That did not happen. And of course, is Gwyneth mocking Meghan? You see how they love to pit women against each other. You see there? When I first started Royal Sussex, right, I come in on the heels of a lot of very well-intentioned people and some that were shady and we didn't know it. And of course, I couldn't possibly say, oh, I was there from the start. I was not. I came in a couple of years after. But just about anybody and everybody whose channel that I've ever looked at, and I said, wow, that's a good channel. What have I done? I have shared it with y'all. I say, you know what? When you get tired of hearing that whining voice of mine, why don't you check out this channel? If you get tired of me sipping from my Slurpee cup, or if you get tired of me laughing or singing, why don't you go check out so-and-so's channel? You see, when you put department stores on the same street, it doesn't take business away from one store or the other. It brings more people to that street. And it's the same with the genre of the lifestyle shows. Having a variety of shows is good for everyone. Having a variety of Sussex-friendly spaces on YouTube, it's good for everyone. No one is underserved. It's how you grow an audience. It's how you grow a genre. It's how you grow a business. It's how you grow whatever. Is you have variety. If you don't have variety, then it limits everything and everybody. And that's the truth. So I think a wise person would see it that way. But someone who is selfish and mean and surly, they would take the low road. So there you go. Gwyneth Paltrow. Let me see. Are you comprehending the Meghan Markle beef that social media says you two have? And okay, that was what someone said on her Instagram or whatever. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then she said, do you? And then she turns to Meghan, who's sitting there eating something. Oh my God, that was so funny. When she did that. You know what though? He did us a favor though. Andy Cohen did us a favor. Now it could have gone either way, but he's done the world a favor because had he not asked that question, we would have never gotten the answer. And the answer was the best possible thing that she could have done. If she would have said something negative, well, then that'd have been something else. But in this instance, he's done us a favor. And I'm glad he asked the question, and I'm glad she answered it appropriately. Let's see here. Parliament Girl says, "Oh, hello, Baron, Royal Sussex Squaddies. Hope everyone is well. Well, hello to you too, and I pray that everything is well for you. And thank you for being a member, and thank you for the super chat." Let me see. He's very shady. Don't know what's his agenda. Uh, uh, Me? I'm shady. I don't have an agenda. I'm just kidding. I know you're talking about Andy Cohen. I sounded guilty for a second there. Let me see. Lex says, my problem with this is that Andy is someone who was on Archetype with Meghan, is still a clout chaser. He knows people will pay attention to his show, and he brings up, if he brings up Meghan's, let me see, I don't like it. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it could have gone either way. It could have gone either way. Fortunately, it came out favorable. Now, if it had gone the other way, then that would have been a problem. But I'm just kind of glad that that puts all of that to rest. So in the future, um, there won't be any ambiguities. Everybody knows how she feels about it. So, but it could have gone either way. All right. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, where you can watch curated playlists for all things related to the Invictus movement. Amazing moments at the Invictus Games, powerful case studies, speeches from our patrons, and more. Um, yeah, if you guys are not following the Invictus Game channel, they do have one on YouTube. So you see there? Invictus Games Foundation. That's the channel that you're looking for. Invictus Games Foundation. And if you have not subscribed to them, you really should. Let me see. What's that? Baron, you started telling the messy on day one. That's how I got stuck on you. You know, I wanted to do a very sober and very meaningful podcast. And I couldn't help it right out the gate. I'm like, ooh, I got a platform now. I can say what I really think. It didn't take me long at all, did it? I was messy from day one. Anyway, here's some more of those pictures that go along with the Invictus. Now, oh my goodness, I survived cancer. Then my parents were both diagnosed with it too, and my marriage imploded. So at 48, I did the unthinkable. Oh my goodness, that is Katie Nichols. Yeah, Katie Nichols. Well, I Am Sage says Katie Nichols' marriage imploded when she went through a very difficult time in her life, cancer diagnosis, and yet she constantly berates, badgers, and dehumanizes Duchess Meghan and passes innuendos about her marriage ending so that Harry can take his rightful place by his father and brother's side. If some of these women paid as much attention to their own marriages as they do to Harry and Meghan's, perhaps she wouldn't be divorced and living with her parents and raising her 2 young kids as a single mother. Ooh, that stings, doesn't it? I think the part that gets me, and living with her parents and raising her 2 children as a single mother. Okay, I'm just throwing mother in there to make it sound worse as a single mom. Whew. Anyway, cuts like a knife, don't it? Why do people mess around? I don't know. Because they know the Sussex squad is going to come for them. They know the Sussex squad is going to come for them. That was just messy. I love it. But if you are a deranger, a hater, a monarchist, a Brexiteer, a Mexiteer, I'm sorry, mega person, if you're one of those people, I want you to seriously consider the choices that you're making right now, because karma is a you know what. Now you see there, she's living back home with her mama and daddy, and she got 2 kids in tow. What was that jazz song? Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, pop, you're gonna blow your top. Hey, straighten up and fly right. Yep. Straighten up and fly right. Otherwise, you're gonna be living back home with your mama. Oh, oh well. I just want you guys to see the face behind the voice. Surely you've all seen the voice. I mean, those videos with the Jet2 holiday package, holiday you can trust vacation thing. Take my hand, whatever that thing. You know what I'm talking about, right? That's the lady right there. She's the one that's in all of those the commercials for the Jet 2 whatever. And anyway, if you've been seeing those viral videos where every time it looks like someone's like falling in a swimming pool, or having some mishap, and they play that "Take My Hand," such a yeah. Anyway, that's the lady right there. Let me see. Leg says, "Wait, didn't they want Meghan to suffer in silence yet?" Thank you very much, Legs. Yeah, they said that Meghan should. They kept saying, didn't they want their privacy? I still don't know where that came from, but definitely they wanted Meghan to suffer in silence. But you cannot suffer in silence if people keep provoking you and keep trash talking you. You can't be silent with that. If you don't speak up for yourself, who's going to speak for you? You can't trust them to do it. The Sussex squad will, though. Let me see here. Let me see. The woman behind the iconic voice for Jet2 advert says, Jess Glynn, yes, Glynn, right, has become the soundtrack of her life. Voice actor Zoe Lister, 43, is the voice behind the Nothing Beats a Jet2 holiday campaign. She jokes people who work on the planes must be absolutely sick of hearing her. But despite being the voice of the airline, Zoe doesn't get any perks such as free flights or holidays. However, she is kept busy recording countless versions of the holiday jingle for different destinations, airports, and platforms. The mom of two from Maidenhead, Berkshire, said she first heard about the role through her voiceover agent in 2019. At the time, Jet2 was sponsoring Love Island and needed someone for the sponsorship bumpers. She said the job was one of the easiest she'd ever landed. No pun intended, ever landed. Anyway, um, well, anyway, that's who she is. That's who she is. Now, you know what was kind of bothering me though is like the past couple of days, the most condescending people, including, I think she was one of them actually. She was saying that this has become like a big thing in America. And I know it must be confusing for them because they don't know what a holiday is, that Americans take vacations, they don't take holidays. Um, I think most people, at least most people I know that when someone in the UK says they're going on holiday, that they mean that is a vacation. That is what we call a vacation. Also, I saw this other lady saying that I'm living in America right now, and most Americans, they're not familiar with package holiday vacations. I'm like, what? What? I would say that we had just as many, what do you call it, travel agents selling packages as anybody else in the Western world. Um, I mean, in the context in which it's said, is there anything that you can't figure out? Seriously. So, yeah, I've been knowing what a holiday is for quite some time. And when people say bank holiday, then I'm assuming that that means for you guys that's a federal holiday, right? Just like, we have our federal holidays. I'm pretty sure that in the UK they call those a bank holiday or a bank, yeah, bank. Well, anyway. Um and then of course, like when the queen died, there was that period of mourning and the funeral and stuff like that. So they closed everything down for that. But yeah, I just thought that was so strange that they just assumed that Americans don't know what that means. But anyway, weird, weird. What was that? Let's see. Why Katie Nichols speaking out. She and Sarah Vine should suffer in silence, just like those women on Loose Women who got divorced. See rules for thee and none for me. You know, it is a trend of like middle age, um, supposedly feminist gatekeepers that surely voted for Brexit, surely are very right leaning. They seem to always have a bunch of dog whistles that they use when speaking about Meghan or just about anything else that is different from them. Um, and then they all have body image problems. They all go through an illness. All of this is so public. Their relationships, a lot of them talk about their relationship with their mother. And I mean, they're very, very public about these things. And the main reason why they do it is because they have to have something for work. They cannot talk about things that matter, like the NHS, the housing crisis, the homelessness, food insecurity. They won't talk about those things. They will either talk about the Sussexes, they will say something about, um, I don't know, their usual stuff. Um, Like, what is that black festival, the Caribbean festival that they have? Those kind of things. They stick with that kind of stuff that will, uh, what do they call it? Rage bait. Those rage baiting topics are the things that they talk about when they're not talking about their personal lives as though they are so interesting. So, yeah, I noticed that there seems to be a trend with those people. Uh, okay. Thank you very much, Legs. All right. So we did that. Geez, this is taking long. How much more I got left? Oh my goodness. I still got a bunch of slides. Let me push through this. Did Prince Harry hit Prince Andrew? Rumored. Daniel and royal dysfunction. Oh, you know what that is? Professor got on my nerves. I told Professor, I said, Mexit is very misogynistic. The implication is that the woman, Meghan, is responsible for Harry's disenchantment and ultimate exit. Please do better, sir. He had the caucasity to say Megxit. You know I don't like that word. Megxit is very chauvinistic and it is very misogynoir. Blame the black woman for the white prince leaving. I don't like it. Megxit. He actually said Megxit. And then when people accuse him of being a right winger, when people accuse him of repeating the tabloids, that's why. I cannot believe he gave me a little heart. You see that? That's why I'm sharing it with you. I didn't told that old dusty bearded weirdo off, and he gives me a little heart. At least he did read it, though. He does read most of his comments. So I really do appreciate that. But I don't appreciate him saying Megxit. I don't like it. Uh the Alternative Prince. The Alternative Prince. This book is available from Republic. And this book, it says King Charles has entertained a long-standing love affair with alternative medicines. This book describes his passion as it developed during his last 40 years. His beliefs, his opinions, and ambitions are critically assessed against the backdrop of the scientific evidence. In most instances, the contrast could not be starker. Thus, Charles' tenuous promotion of unproven, disproven, and occasionally harmful alternative therapies turns out to be little more than a pipe dream of self-declared enemy of the Enlightenment. The book portrays Charles and the then Prince, reviews the evidence on alternative medicine, and inspires critical thinking. It is, let me see. Oh, the guy who wrote it is a retired academic physician and researcher specializing in the study of complementary alternative medicine. He was professor of complementary medicine at the University of Exeter, allegedly the world's first such academic position in complementary alternative medicine. Anyway, I think the book implies that Charles, and they did say that he was doing something alternative for cancer treatment, right? Oh, you guys, fasten your seatbelt. Princess of Wales has launched a series of videos to help families with young children to experience everyday moments of connection. The princess spoke of the need to raise younger generation better equipped to face the future. You guys, if this broad don't stop trying to pass herself off as a child care expert, what does she know about children? What does she know about other people's children? She has grown up in a very pampered lifestyle, right? Private schools, all of that. But yet, they say that she's going to be giving people tips about what to do with their kids. This is the woman who has had a team of nannies for the past, 13 years? A team of nannies. And yet, they're trying to make Kate seem like she's being productive. So, in coordination with the Daily Telegraph, and you can see here, the Daily Express, and probably a few other publications, this is a new scheme to make Kate seem like she's working. Kate spends her days locked up in that Adelaide cottage, feverishly researching and dwelling over all of the things that could be so much better for children. She's going through all kind of studies. She has all kind of reports, and she has a big, massive computer with lots of screens and people running back and forth with new ideas. All of that's happening because she just cares so much about what's going to happen to the future generations, right? All of this while raising the next king, right? Taking 6 vacations since Christmas. What else? She's doing the school runs, right? She has to go and drop the kids off and pick them up. She spends time with her mother. Is there any other thing that she's doing? I'm trying to think. What else she got going? Oh, yeah. Then, of course, she's the patron of the Wimbledon. She has that to do. So this was a busy season for her. Yeah, she's been quite busy. She has been quite busy. Meanwhile, they still have a team of nannies. They got more nannies than you could shake a stick at. So I'm trying to figure out, what is it she know about raising kids that she hasn't witnessed from watching the nannies? Huh? What is it? Because they have had live-in help all this time. So maybe the nanny should have wrote the book. Huh? Maybe the nanny should co-author the books. I mean, it's nice work if you can get it, right? A team of nannies. And she's giving out tips about raising your kids, spending quality time with your kids. Huh? There it is. Kate and William, their secret holiday in France, our exclusive pictures. But you know what else it says in the caption below? It says, where is it at? Oh, yeah, William in William's hand, the bottle of wine just offered to them by the nanny. The bottle of wine that was just offered to them by the nanny. They're so close to the nanny, she's passing them bottles of wine. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. What does that say? Revealed how Prince William is following his father's footsteps and actually marrying his nanny. Isn't that something? Tiggy, look at there, Tiggy Leg Burke has a striking resemblance to Kate Middleton. Ain't that something? Just like Charles and his nanny. What a coincidence. Royal Nanny Diaries. The hidden lives of Kate Middleton and Prince William's kids. See there? Nannies all over the place. One nanny after the other. And look at there. You see how the pecking order is? There's William, Charlotte. Is that George, the nanny? And bringing up the rear, Kate. Kate is last in line. The nanny goes before Kate. That's how important the nanny is. Now I'm done. Okay, good night, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us here on Royal Sussex. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And also, congratulations to those of you that have scored your bottle of wine today. And bravely born, I might add. Let me see. Did I have another video? I'm trying to think. Did I have another wine video? Let me see. But yes, I'm done. Good night. Good night. Thank you so much. As ever, I thought it was another one today. Okay, that was a countdown. No, maybe it was just those two. Yeah, I think it was just those two. Well, then what is this one? Okay, then I guess that was it. Edie, I didn't know you were here. Oh, yes, please hit the thumbs up, you guys. Please hit the thumbs up. Okay, cheers. Good night, everyone. Love you guys. See you next time.